A federal grand jury in Washington, D.C. has indicted a Maryland man for major fraud against the United States and for making false statements to the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC. The charges stem from a scheme in which he allegedly misled the SEC into believing his company's data center had the highest level of certification for reliability, availability, and security when it did not. According to the indictment, Deepak Jain, 49, from Potomac, was the CEO of an IT services company, referred to as Company A, that provided data center services to clients, including the SEC. Between 2012 and 2018, the SEC paid approximately $10.7 million to use Company A's data center in Beltsville, Maryland. The indictment claims that Jain created a separate entity, Uptime Council, which falsely posed as an independent auditor for data centers. To secure the SEC contract and hide the fact that Company A's data center did not meet contractual requirements, Jain allegedly wrote fraudulent certification letters under the name of Uptime Council. These letters falsely claimed that Company A's data center had received Tier 4 certification, the highest rating for reliability, availability, and security. However, during the contract period, the SEC experienced multiple issues with the data center, including problems with security, cooling, and power, which should have been covered under the purported Tier 4 standards. Authorities emphasize that Jain's scheme jeopardized the security of government data and the integrity of the government's procurement process. Jain has been charged with 6 counts of major fraud against the U.S. and 1 count of making false statements. If convicted, he could face up to 10 years in prison for each fraud charge and 5 years for the false statement charge. Types of fraud committed: government contract fraud, deceiving the government to secure a contract under false pretenses; false certification fraud, falsely claiming compliance with industry standards to gain an advantage; wire fraud, potentially, if electronic communications, emails, reports, or transactions were used to further the fraudulent claims; misrepresentation fraud, providing misleading or false information about a company's qualifications; procurement fraud, engaging in deceptive practices that compromise the fairness of government contracting. Ways to detect this type of fraud: independent audits, require third-party certification bodies that are not affiliated with the contractor; certification verification, cross-check certifications with legitimate accreditation organizations; performance monitoring, regularly inspect facilities to ensure compliance with contract specifications; vendor background checks, investigate company ownership and affiliations before awarding contracts; incident reports review, track system failures, security breaches, and operational issues to identify discrepancies in claim service levels; whistleblower programs, encourage employees or contractors to report suspicious activities confidentially; contract compliance audits, conduct periodic reviews to confirm whether service providers meet agreed-upon standards;